Hey guys, Cronus Falls here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a video on Bulwark. Now this video was by request from Right Pedal Down, so I just wanted to shout that out there real quick. Now let's go ahead and get into the champion. So first of all, before we go into the gearing, let's look at his skills. So Bulwark is definitely a clan boss specialist. He comes in there, he does a lot of work. I actually used him for a long time in my clan boss team. So first he has his A1, which attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 15% chance of placing a 15% weaken debuff for 2 turns. Now fully booked, this comes up to a 30% chance. But as you'll see, I have not fully booked him, and I'm going to get into that in a second. So his A2 attacks one enemy, has a 75% chance of placing a HP burn debuff for 2 turns. So this books up to a 100% chance and brings the cooldown down by 1 to 3 turns. So this ability, I wanted to get it down to the 3 turn cooldown in order to be applying HP burn as often as possible. And I felt that it wasn't really necessary to get this extra 5% on the buff debuff chance for the weaken. In fact, I probably wouldn't have booked this at all if everything had fallen into the A2. But clearly that didn't happen. So just keep that in mind. It's not a necessity to book his A1. If you really want the weaken, you can, but it's only a 15% weaken, not even a 25. So that's up to you. And then his passive here is what he's really known for. When attacked, has a 30% chance of extending the duration of all debuffs on the attacker by 1 turn. So he is a debuff extender. There are not a whole lot of these guys in the game. Bulwark is actually one of the best. Even though he's a rare, he is very good at it, especially when it is an affinity clan boss, and we will be showing that a little bit later on. But the reason is because when it is an affinity clan boss, it hits multiple times when it does the slam attack, as well as its lightning attack. I don't know what it's called, but that just allows you to proc this ability more and get more debuff stacking up. Finally, he has an aura, which is increase all allied defense in all battles by 17%, which is very good. It is a little bit weak at 17%, but allied defense in all battles is the strongest aura in the game, besides arguably speed. And so, I mean, for a rare, he brings it all. He's got HP burn, he's got weaken, he's got debuff extension, he's got an aura, it is defense. Very strong champion. So let's look at the build here. So I didn't want to make him too tough because we're going to be bringing him into Brutal Clan Boss. So as you can see with the build here, and keep in mind I do have a pretty good Great Halls, so with this kind of gear you probably wouldn't get to the same stats. But the 2 pieces of 6-star gear I had, I left them at level 12, and everything else was just kind of leftover gear that I had, so he's only in 4-star boots, 3-star banner. But let's check it out. So we've got speed on the weapon as well as some HP. Got a bunch of defense percent on the helmet, and that's pretty much it. On the shield, we got a double roll in speed, so that's very good. That helped me to bring him up over the 161 mark for brutal, which we needed. Gloves are defense percent with some accuracy. This helped me get over the 200 accuracy mark. For brutal, you don't need nearly that much. It's just that with my Great Hall, it happened to get that high. And then we've got a defense percent chest plate. And as you can see, I didn't finish a set here. That was on purpose. I didn't want to bring in some extra speed or anything like that. So we just got defense percent with some accuracy and some HP, which is nice. And some 4-star uncommon lifesteal boots, nothing special except maybe a little bit of accuracy in the substats. And then all the jewelry, this is a level 5 ring defense, but it's only rolled up to 12 with 2 rolls in HP percent. The amulet's also a 4-star piece this time, but also defense and a little bit of accuracy, some resistance, which doesn't matter here. And then just a 3-star banner, accuracy 49, a little bit of speed on it. So, you know, the gear is not amazing, definitely not up to the level of my other champions, but that was kind of the point that I wanted to show today, because Bulwark, as great as he is, he doesn't necessarily carry into the Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare realm so well. He is okay, and he's definitely usable in those teams, and I'm sure certain comps can get a lot of value out of him in an Ultra Nightmare or Nightmare setup, but he kind of fell off for me after Brutal, so that's where I'm going to be showing him to you today. So that being said, let's look at the Masteries here. So for Masteries, standard line to War Master. For Clan Boss, we've got your crit rate, crit damage, more extra damage, Methodical makes your A1 hit harder, and finally, we've got War Master. Then I went into the support tree and I went ahead and grabbed some accuracy, some more accuracy, a little bit of turn meter boost, Swarm Smiter, just a little bit more accuracy. I'm not taking him anywhere else in the game. He's just Clan Boss, so I'm not taking Evil Eye. I'm going Laura Steel, which would be a lot better if he was in like a speed set instead of a broken set. Obviously, this isn't doing anything for him right now in this build. But then we've got Master Hexer to extend the HP burn and weaken. We've got, Cycle of Magic? Yeah. That has a 5% chance of bringing his HP burn down by 1 turn on the cooldown, so that's pretty decent. And then I went for Spirit Haste here just to have something, gives him a little bit of extra speed. Probably should have taken Sniper. Honestly, I don't know why I didn't. Probably just because I wasn't worried about the weaken at the time since I was running Rosin. So I didn't really care if he landed the weaken at all. But if you do need him in for the weaken, you should fully book the A1 and probably get Sniper. If not, don't worry about it. So that's the build. As you can see, nothing super strong, but we're going to go ahead and pull him into Brutal Clan Boss here. Let's go ahead and show we are on a Force Affinity right now, which is typically the hardest affinity newer players end up going against. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to bring Apothecary in here. We're going to make Bulwark our lead. If we can find him, there he is. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Stagnite as my attack and defense down. And then I'll probably grab Steel Skull. And you know what? Just for the video, I'm going to back out here because I'm not going to have a weekend. So I am going to go in and book Bulwark the rest of the way up just to show him at his full potential. How many do I need? 2 more books. Easily done. There we go. Apparently there was a new weekly that had something to do with that, so that's cool. Works out for me, I suppose. Alright, so back into Clan Boss, into Brutal. We're taking him in. He's coming in as our lead. We're taking in Stagnite. And so the reason I want to take Stagnite in here instead of like a Tyrell or a Jareg or something is because I want him to be extending the decreased defense and decreased attack for me. So even though it's only on 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown, first of all, he's fast enough. He might place it just fine anyways. But if not, Bulwark should definitely help me extend that. And then I'm going to bring in Steel Skull as my poisoner because we are on a Force Affinity. And so let's see, we've got decreased defense, we've got decreased attack, we got weaken, we've got HP burn, we got some poison, so I can really bring anyone else I want to into this. Let's see, I don't want to bring in anyone too strong, so I'm just... Frozen Banshee's pretty strong, but we are on a Force Affinity, so she's not going to do as much. But she can definitely get a lot of use out of Bulwark as well, because if he's extending her poison sensitivity, she can lay more. So we'll see if that works out. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into this right here. And I'll take it off of auto so we can show. Alright, so I've got Apothecary going first and come and speed me up. Bulwark is going to be the slowest on my team, but that's fine. His main purpose in here is just to be increasing those debuff durations. So Steel Skull is going to get some poison on. Frozen Banshee is going to go for her poison sensitivity. We got it. And we want that decreased attack and defense. Beautiful. Get some HP burn going. And then let's see here. Oh, Apothecary's coming back around. After this, though, he's going to hit, and we're going to look here and see if we get those debuff extensions. We've got 3, 2. There we go. So we're up to 3 again. And that is what Bulwark is coming in to do for you. The cool thing is if he takes the stun from the Clan Boss, which he won't on this unfortunately, because obviously we've got 2 weak affinities here. But if you were taking the stun, that does not affect his passive, so he can still go in there and do what he needs to do on extending debuffs. So we're just going to keep this going. See if we can get a weaken on. Perfect. Alright, so now we're pretty much set on debuffs, I think. What is that? We got 9 going there, so we need a 10th. Perfect. Alright, so now we're going to come back around and we are going to see, we're going to turn meter boost with Frozen Banshee. And we are going to see if he can extend these for us. There we go, boom. So our debuffs are still completely full. And that is what Bulwark brings to the table. So now that you've kind of seen what he can do, I'm just going to throw it on auto and let it play through. And we'll see what kind of damage we do coming out the other end. So yeah, cutting back in here, guys, take a look at this. We got all these debuffs up to 4 HP burn, up to 5 turns. That's what Bulwark can do for you. We're actually coming up on the end of the run here, so I'll probably just keep it going through. But he's definitely helping us keep these on consistently. Because, I mean, nothing's going to fall off there. Like that turn, Bulwark doesn't take a hit, but our debuffs stay on just fine. Apothecary's down now, so that's definitely signaling the end of the run. We're going to start slowing down. We're going to have more people dropping. He's not going to be able to come in and heal. There we go. We just lost Steel Skull. Looks like probably Stagnite will be next. Nope. He got a little bit more in, but honestly, I just don't think he's going to last here. There he goes. Bulwark, last one standing, even though he has probably the lowest defense out of all the champions coming out here. And definitely the lowest speed. But he's just keeping it going. He's keeping these debuffs on. And there he goes. Look at that. 1 key, brutal. Obviously, this was against a Force Affinity. So if Frozen Banshee had come in here against either a Magic or a Spirit Affinity, this damage would be significantly higher. Like, we'd probably be looking at easily 30 million if that were the case. But she was getting resisted a lot. Because of weak hits, I should say. So there we go, Bulwark bringing in 5 million damage here. That's equal about to what Frozen Banshee did. He definitely brings a lot to a team, up till Brutal. You know, I may even play around with him a little bit in like a Nightmare, Ultra Nightmare team now that I've got better gear, better champs to work with. And see if I can't string something together that puts him to work. But we will see about that. In the meantime, thank you for watching. Subscribe for future content, comment down below anything you would like to see me do, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks.